Thank you, Mr. Lang and Stephen, and for the invitation. And of course, also thank you for the Thai International Airport, the hosters. My name is William Zhang, and from Shenzhen Cross-Border E-Commerce Association. So today, who we are, and I'm gonna skip this topic here because we talk about association every day. It's really boring. Yeah? So I'm gonna jump to the Cross-Border E-Commerce Association. Sorry, the corporation point of view. And thanks Stephen review me my experience in the aviation industry. Yeah, 20 years ago I graduated from Civil Aviation University, and we've been through the hardcore of the aviation guys. Yeah, working for the China Southern, China Eastern, and airports. And the reason I changed my job is very simple. Yeah, try something new, and I always want to know about e-commerce. And the Chinese old say is, you want to learn a new language, you need to find a girlfriend, of this country. So I could not find e-commerce girlfriend in the Cross-Border E-Commerce Association industry, so I'm gonna just change my job. And so from the global point of view, which is cross-borders, and I just today just see myself as a special agency, get into this industry and pretend ourselves be an e-commerce service provider or e-commerce operation runners to see how the real e-commerce it is. So from these slides, you can see the global cross-border e-commerce trade, which is going to be in next 5 years planning. Yeah, in 2021, going to reach 10 trillions of the US dollars, and that's a lot. And in China's scope of the cross-border e-commerce this year, because the latest data didn't come out, so we expect the 1.14 trillions US dollars, and we expect, which is estimated 1.49 trillion in 2018. But there is a key point, because these numbers, because it's officially, because there's a large amount of the cross-border e-commerce shipment goes to Hong Kong, so it didn't count it. So, but 38% of the total trade, by 2020 will be the total cross-border e-commerce sales. That's something we can see the future. And who are the big players? And so you can see Amazon, Ali, everybody knows eBay, etc. But in Chinese, we have Jingdong, Tianmao, etc. Yeah, I'm sure I can see many people, they had a doubt in their face. I knew some big player didn't pull it. So I have to tell you the truth because it didn't pay us the member fees. So I just take them out. Yeah. This is just a joke because seriously, except the top big players, we need looking for them. Rapidly growing the e-commerce companies. Those below that, which is except the wishes, there is a Kaola, VIP shops, and there is a global group Miya, Yangmatou, Xiaobenniao. Those is not familiar name, but they are fast growing. So maybe one day you will be very surprised they could jump in front of you. And who are the player in the Thailand? So Lazada, Shopee, 11th Street. Target, GIP, C, Home Pro, etc. And I have to be responsible for you because except Lazada, the rest didn't pay us the member fee. They're not our member yet. So I spent a lot of time to find them, and I would like to receive the applaud from the audience here, and to see this is the Thailand, which is the cross-border, which is the platformers. And the brand follow the word. So everybody want to, we talk about export, because I heard a lot of complaint about the government and our airlines. We should talk about the EU, United States, change the policy of the VAT, and there is issues about escape of the tax in locals for the export. So I'm going to change to import because there is a huge potential from China's market. So there is a 14,500 international brand, and from 63 countries, region have been watch shops in China. And you can see the percentage, apologize. You can see the percentage of the market which is those countries export the product to China mainland. And who are the consumers that the branding are targeting? So we also see the 70% of the college degrees, and 70% of the 18 to 35 years old, and 25% which is their salary in China with over 10,000 Chinese yuan, etc. And the shoppings, 68% of the shopping monthly online, and the preservation is 63%, which is between 300 of the 1,000 purchase. And there is opportunities, and there is a challenge for us all, which is in China, and contrary, the same globally as well. And from the challenges, there's something from Asian industries, the high cost. You can imagine which is the manufacturers of big sellers from overseas selling product, running watch shop in China mainland. And we already have a dominant platforms. And in that case, you have set their own company and their own teams, and they're gonna spend more money on the volumes, which is advertising themselves. Second is the really lack of the brand reputation. Even the local brand, which is famous or well known in overseas, but it's in China. As for the Chinese people, there's still the time which is there's a reckoning of the brand. Complexities, which is the new entrants may be found difficult to handle the logistic market and customer service by its own. So those are the cross-border e-commerce seller buyers, and which is the companies they facing the difficulties. So our association, how we're gonna face this impact for the aviation industry? Yeah, we're gonna have 5 proposals. And empowering is a very latest word in these industries. So from each countries, we have a traditional, which is the manufacturers and the shops, retails, etc. And everybody facing the transformations. And from our industry, airline, airport, and forward agencies, we are looking for the e-commerce market. So we need to help them, to empower them in order to providing the services. And in the same times, particularly not only aiming the big one, the top one, we should seeking for the medium and the smaller, the cross-border e-commerce, the companies, because they are the future. So we need to, really support them, and through our resources, facilities, to empower them. I'm using a case study here, because last night everybody asked me about SF because they're based in Shenzhen, yeah? And I'm not going to talk about they had already 56 aircraft and based in 34 provinces in China and 320 distribution center, etc. They're growing really fast. The keys as airline and express service companies, so they are, as SF, they enter to e-commerce industries. So that's how they serve the, to learn from e-commerce industries. So they created SF Best in 2012. At that time, a lot of people talk about this joke, yeah? So how come is express companies running e-commerce companies in China, yeah? And they had a lot of crisis, and the first year, they're burning the 1 billion Chinese yuan in order to set up the shops, etc. But after 2013 and 16, yeah, everything they paid off because they built e-commerce, which particularly focused high-ending middle class of the Chinese people, and they called the SF best sales. So they mainly import all kind of product from all over the world using their own networking, their own airline, their own facilities, providing last miles and off-shop services. So this is the product which is currently running on their e-shops and which is reality shops. And this is pretty good. People can try. I mean, if you go to China, you can download their apps. And there's another our member company called the Global Grow. So this company may not be familiar for everybody, but they born in 2007, and it's the first list e-commerce big seller company in China. And by 2017, they started beginning, they are just 8 employees selling on Amazon and eBay, running their own shops. In how many years? 10 years. 2017, they have 5,000 staff, and they are listed on the market, and they have 5,000 employees and 50 overseas warehouses. So this is the revenue they come from all over the world. 35% from Europe, and 48 from 48 from Europe, 35 from the North American, and 70% of revenue from all over the world. And they have approximately 280,000 SKU online. So almost they selling everything. And it's not only selling on the Amazon, eBay. So they run their own platform as well. They running their own branding and promote themselves as well. So you can see the percentage of it. So individual side, electronics, 35%. And GearBest, and they have Zufus in the Middle East, in each state or each continental state, they have their own platforms. And 30%, they only currently, which is selling on eBay, Amazon, etc., which is 25% of the total sales of their companies. And except that, and they have the B2B distributions. So these companies, they currently run in the platform, and even in the Thailand and all over the world. So it's not only just selling product from China to the overseas and import the product to China, and they helping local manufacturers or retailers and selling their own product in their own country. So this is something which is from our industry, we can help them promote this. This is how the transformation from a traditional retailer to the e-commerce. The second proposals we're talking about, which is protecting mechanism, is surprising. And particularly, this is from our industries, airline, airport, which is, we are most of the state-owned companies. So we have the resources to connect with the local government. And this is, oh, sorry, I always forget. Turn the pages. So this is something which is we can working together and to build these mechanisms. I'm using examples. So in Shenzhen, we're building we call tracking platforms with the Shenzhen government and providing the tracing and the tracking for online selling the product. So everybody understands the qualification and the quality of the product online. Yeah? And this is the key values of it. This is the customer experience, all about it. But there is difficulty to doing that because there's so many watch shops. So how are we going to do it? So we're working with the local government. So we're building these platforms together, and we are tracking for the customers and make sure their product is properly certificated. And even we are anti-fake the tracings. So any transactions, any purchase, so we have the record. So we always can tracing back for those which is illegal, which is somebody which is just want quick money. This is another issue with the customer through the post office to their ending customers and selling the product, which is online through the eBay, Amazon, AliExpress, etc. Jingdong. On the other hand, so they have their own overseas warehouses. So the shipment goes through traditional international trading way, arrive their overseas warehouses, and of course through the customs clearance, and waiting, selling online. So once these orders is done, so they will deliver through either FBA or through the postal or through the last mile, which is by them own, or through the third parties. And this is their import, which is procedures, and the overseas brandings, and from distributors, and come to the overseas warehouses, and go through Hong Kong or the other mainland import of channels, and go through the bonded warehouse. And as you know, the Chinese government, we have the e-commerce with the custom clearance way, and through the B2B, B2C, B2B, and providing the after that, and go to their own warehouses and distribute accordingly. And these companies already set up the overseas warehouses all over the world. Yep. And not only in the air freight, they're using we call with the international train, which is from China to EU, and from the boat, etc. Not only from the EU and the United States as well. So we can understand, so e-commerce, cross-border e-commerce, the big seller company, so they try to set up their own supply chain systems and using model dimensional logistic strategies and try to optimize, to reduce the cost and the efficiency. So through our services, so although we're providing the air freight services, but in order to give you the whole solutions, we have to think about other combination way to match their demand. And personal cultivation and institutions. So the personnel, human resource is always something which is facing the challenges, particularly on the e-commerce industry. And through the platform we are building together, we want to working with local universities and providing the research centers. And in the same time, the incubating centers, providing the fintech or the financial support services for the small or medium e-commerce companies, and particularly for the startup, the institute. The Shenzhen cities, so are using the few key numbers. There are over 20,000 e-commerce companies, cross-border e-commerce companies are based in Shenzhen. And there are over 100 which is e-commerce enterprise selling. They have their own platforms, and over you can see over the 50% of the Chinese seller with the selling product in the Amazon eBay, which is based in Shenzhen, and 90% of them are the listed company, which is based in Shenzhen. That's the reason Shenzhen is become the spearhead of the cross-border e-commerce all over the China and even the world. And the Shenzhen government and through association and with other states and relative companies, we build the incubating systems and we call logistic park services as well. There's over 40 cross-border e-commerce park based in Shenzhen, and over 2 million square meters, and more than 5,000 companies already settled. So they get the whole subsidy package. So in order to grow fast as much as they can. Technology and innovation. And through the cross-border e-commerce the industries, the cloud, which is computing, big data, all these concepts everybody is talking about. Yeah, what exactly is, which is to do with us, which is through our industry. There is a few key. Is with the data, so we can management and we can analyze it, and with big data using the latest mobile, with the mobile phones and the social networkings, the platform, so we can draft the poetry of the customers. We can analyze the behaviors, the selling behaviors, or the purchase consumer behaviors of the customers in the society. Yeah, of course, based on on top of that, there is the privacy policies and to protect it. So those are the key for the new generation of e-commerce, which is we are facing. And of course, Shenzhen is not only which is Huawei, Tencent, BYD, Dajiang, and all the others. Those companies, they all have e-commerce platform and enter to e-commerce industry as well. And using another example as SF Express, yeah, because SF is very unique because they are really a strategic member of our association. From this slide, so the SS, you can understand, so it's not only providing the airline services and expresses and last miles, and even e-commerce, which is retailers. So they put a lot of money and energy for the high tech, the particularly just I mentioned. So you can see the few keywords, the blue ratings, the smart handheld devices, and the air drone to deliver. So those technologies, so they are already, which is researching and will be implemented in the near future. So this is from our industries, I mean aviation industry, we should focus on. And this is all we're talking about, which is we try to build these ecosystems with everybody's for aviation industry as well. So this is something that's the reason our association set up the 27 chapters all over the worldwide. And one, which is nearly 1 week ago, we just announced, which is we're going to set up our Thailand, Bangkok chapters. And Mr. Tony, and which Tony is our new chapter's president, and he was today was here as well with us. So we really would like to, grab these opportunities and talk to everybody. And I just need. Okay. So this video is our association and in West Shenzhen, so we built something together, trying to demonstrate why the Shenzhen city become the innovation in the past 20 years, become the top of the world. Sorry. The voice.
In 1987, Ren Zhangfei started a business in Shenzhen with 20,000 yuan. Today, that small business, Huawei, has become the largest telecom equipment provider in the world. In 1995, Wang Chuanfu launched his startup BYD from an old workshop. Today, 1/3 of mobile phone batteries worldwide are made by BYD.
比亚迪跟深圳一样，充满了创新的血液。
In 1998, Tencent, also known as the Little Penguin, hatched in Shenzhen, and today it is one of the world's most valuable internet companies.
深圳为腾讯这样的公司提供了最佳的创业、创新和成长环境。
In 2007, BGI was founded in Shenzhen's Dapeng Bay. As the world's largest genomics R&D organization, BGI contributes to over half of global genomics data output.
我们科技上已经领先了，那我们这科技转化上面我们也是领先的。
Shenzhen, separated from Hong Kong by only a river, boasts the most ports of entry of a city in China, and is the only Chinese city that possesses land, sea, and airports. Shenzhen provides an ideal portal to China's mainland market for global investors. The special economic zone's robust supply chain and a welcoming business environment attract smart hardware makers from around the world. Developers of new products are especially pleased to discover that they can find almost any raw material they need within a radius of 1 kilometer.
活力、务实、高效，上下游产业链非常发达。确实，如果说我们要做一个电子产品的话，那你要找这些对应的元件来实现它，确实很快。
Investors not only bring in large sums of capital, but they also help make the city more innovative. Indeed, the high-tech industry has become the #1 pillar industry in Shenzhen. The city's innovative enterprises are now sophisticated standard makers rather than mere enforcers of standards.
第一个是海洋，第二是创新，第三是国际竞争力。
And so I think that Shenzhen has shown that you can build the innovation, the innovative base that you need then for young companies and more mature companies to flourish. So yes, I think Shenzhen has shown that they can make it happen.
Global investments have made Shenzhen a city with the most advanced financial ecology in China.
深圳的 VC 和 PE 在全国是最活跃的，它最后就构成了一个非常漂亮的体系性的结构。
在创新上面，这个城市的支持力度，这个城市是最好的选择。
Young people from all over the world are drawn to this new metropolis, where innovation has become the most striking feature. With innovation, anything is possible. Entrepreneurship and innovation is encouraged on a grand scale, which enables massive makers and venture capital investments to spring up everywhere. Countless streams of entrepreneurs thrive here.
Shenzhen is the center of worldwide global innovation. It's the best place to be right now, especially in virtual reality and augmented reality.
Approximately 20 million people who are not native to Shenzhen now call the city home. Swelling its population, their average age is 34 years old, bringing with them diverse cultural backgrounds, making the city open and vibrant.
过去我们都很害怕来这样的地方，因为都听不懂大家在说什么。但到了深圳，你完全没有这种感觉。
Shenzhen is a city that loves reading. Here you can taste the flavor of humanism, and the reading habit makes this city look more appealing and romantic.
一个城市的文化也好，底蕴也好，是靠什么积累起来的？我觉得是靠人。那么有这样一批一批、一代一代这样的高素质的人。
Shenzhen, with over 1.1 million registered volunteers, is a city of volunteers. It has been chosen as a national civilized city for each of the last 4 years. The beaches of Shenzhen's Dapeng Peninsula are widely acknowledged as forming one of China's 8 most beautiful coasts. Owing to its warm and pleasant subtropical climate, Shenzhen ranks first nationwide for livability and was China's first city to be named an international garden city. It has also been honored with a UN Happiness Scroll of Honor Award.
I think this area around Shenzhen is absolutely beautiful. The beaches at Dapeng, the mountains, the blue sky. Shenzhen is beautiful.
Energy consumption and carbon emission in Shenzhen continue to decline. eco-friendliness and low-carbon development is the city's calling card. It has the best air quality among major Chinese cities with a population in excess of 10 million people. This is a place to create miracles, a place where dreams come true. Today, Shenzhen opens its arms and looks to join together with you in creating a new story of success. Every day, the Chinese dream is being realized in Shenzhen.
我在这里，
我在这里等你。
我在这里等你。
And let's innovate and building the ecosystem of the cross-border commerce together. Thank you.